How's it going? I'm Josh with Apex Overland, and today we have an Ineos Grenadier, and I'm going to show you guys how to install the Buzz Overland storage system. Buzz Overland storage system in the back of Ineos. There's no instructions online on the website. There's none out there at all. So just trying to figure this out as we go. OK Four-Wheel Drive did a video. It's kind of a quick how-to, kind of doing the same thing. It's not an exact thing, but you guys will be able to at least figure it out on your own. All right, so first step is the mat back here. If you just peel it up around the little black clips right here, kind of like pull it towards you. Pop it out. It comes out as one piece, set it aside. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to take down our mounting tracks here that come in the back factory. They're held in with Torx. I'll be right back. Alright, so it was a T50 that takes out all 6 of the bolts that you just kind of lay out. And then you can see 2 holes here, 1 and 2. That corresponds to the brackets that they send you. So you got 2 there, 1 hole there, 2 hole in the back. That should make sense. All right, laid out in your hardware kit, from the best I can determine, are these 10 bolts right here with these 10 washers are what are going to hold down all of your things. I put the factory bolts in there until I realized there is a clear sticker on the bolt there and there. Peel that up. All right, now those are down. They're not all the way tight. They're just snugged up with an Allen head. Boom, boom, boom. Come over here. You have 2 short ones and a long one. The short ones go in towards the front of the truck, like that. Another short one and then a long one. In your hardware pack like this, 12 bolts, 12 nuts. Simply guessing on this, and no instructions online, but there's 12 holes over on the truck. There's 12 nuts, 12 bolts here. All right, all the little ones on the side are tight. The ones that go down into the truck are still loose on all of it. I'm gonna grab our side here, take it, lay it down, boom, like that. And what we're doing is we're lining up the countersunk holes here to the riv nuts that are in here. What we're gonna do is put the bolts in, make sure it all aligns, and that should square this side up correctly. Tighten this side down, take this one out, put this one on, then put this side, or when this side's out, then we'll tighten the bolts here, and then technically everything should be good and square. See if that works. What I have here is I didn't do the middle ones, just did the outside ones all the way. Take the other panel, pop it on, make sure everything's squared up. Take this panel off really carefully, tighten those bolts down, put that panel back on, bolts in it, take this panel off, make sure everything's square first, tighten those bolts down, put that panel back on. Just to give you guys a time frame on how long I've got into this so far, I started about 9:30, 9:45. It took about an hour to unbox everything, unwrap everything, get everything organized on tables. Is 11:36 now, so this ain't a Saturday job, that is for sure. This is a long weekend job. Luckily, we're doing lots of other things to this week, so I've got it for a full week, but this is not as easy as I thought it was. Panel is in, do not have bolts in it, but I've got them lined up. I just put a small screwdriver in it to line it up best I can. Measured my gaps there and left and right. I'm gonna pick this up very carefully, take it off and tighten those, 5 bolts down, those Allen heads underneath, really carefully. All right, all the bolts in. There we go. I think next we're gonna start taking these tie down points out because I believe the shelf is next. All right, over here on our tables of everything, we're looking for these 90-degree brackets right here. 2 long and 2 shorts. So we need those, and we need these side pieces. I have to figure out which way these side pieces go, so give me a minute. But we've got to bolt these to these, and those will bolt up in there. All right, so these are upside down right now, but this is driver's side, this is passenger side. I did driver's side longer, just thinking that the bolts are going to be the same no matter what, so it really doesn't matter. But can go ahead and install this one, but I gotta pause on this one because I gotta dig out the compressor. He's hitting a compressor that's getting mounted to this. So I'm gonna see if I can mount it on the inside if there's room. I don't think there is, just because there's not a lot of room here. But probably have to go on the inside of the cargo area, but I'm gonna mount it towards the front of the vehicle because he's got a cool hose reel that I'm gonna hopefully have room to mount it on the back here. So the back here snugged up. End up using the Torx heads that came out of the floor. Just not sure what hardware in all of these packs right here is what. That is the same thread, but I don't know what any of these are. I mean, if they're 3D printing and are able to type that out, why not, instead of coding it, just write what it is or make a label. But yeah, so not sure there, but the bolts that came out of those tracks hold those tracks in, so plenty strong enough to hold this shelf up. Plus it's only going into a rib nut anyways. So getting this side up, there's not enough room to store the compressor behind it, obviously, so let's mount the compressor to the other one that goes over on this side and the reel, and we'll be good to go. There we go. So one of the Apex hose reels, ARB compressor mounted up. I gotta make a hose still, but ARB thing from the air up kit over, it'll come over, plumb into there. So let's hope it fits. Kind of just wedge them up with each other. Hose reel fit. Get the little windy thing. Yeah, that worked out. So I think next is the little bridge plates that go between there, and then there's also a plate that goes front to back. Gotta go find out where those are. Went and found everything. There's a plate right here. It sits like that. 2 holes. And there's also these guys. There's 4 of those. So 2 holes. Everything else makes sense from there. I'm gonna bolt this side up first, let these collapse. So pretty much let them collapse down, bolt this side up, and then bring it up into each other from there. So this part's not gonna be fun. All right, so all those are bolted together. Center support's bolted together. Obviously that is all done. Boom, there we go. I still have these loose because I'm not exactly sure where it's gonna go yet. But I think we can start knocking out the stuff on the bottom here. So let's get into that. Back of it's open. Fridge slide here is held down with 6, but thinking they grab those. It's kind of why I have it locked all the way in the open position. Let me hold it up there to see what we got. Yeah, so it lines up with the bolts we already have. Okay. pop those back out, I guess, and figure out what hardware it uses now too. So this hardware is like that, which isn't gonna work for that. So I need to go find different hardware. Over in this, or longer ones of these, I'm guessing that means fridge slide. There's 6, I need 6. I don't know. I'm guessing that is drawer for the big box. Just me guessing. Still gonna figure out what all this other stuff is. So, pick this up, move it over to there. Do the front ones first. Those are hand tight, that way this can open all the way up with the other 4. Left and right. I'm thinking we slide it all the way that way. Give ourselves slid all the way. T-handle. Slide. And we're great. Cool. There's that. I think let's do the drawer next. So after picking that entire drawer up, getting it in, you gotta do the top first, because once the drawer system's in here, you can't access the back right here for the top plate. So I think the drawer can be the last thing that goes in here. So start assembling this and the whole back. So just going by drawings online, the top panels, boom, here, countersunk holes line up with holes there. Of course, all these line up as well. Gets close to the glass. I say close, it's 2 fingers wide, but big, massive shelf here. So, yeah, start getting bolts ran into this. Starting to get that bolted down, and then I was wondering what these went for. Looked at more of the 3D drawings online. These bolt along this edge to give you like some tie down points. But the problem is when this panel is slid back behind this, you can't access the bolts. So you've got to bolt these side pieces up first. Let's see what I'm talking about here. Those 2 you can get to, that one back in there you can't. So they're tightened down those 3 fully, and then put this back in place. And I went ahead and just dropped bolts there and there to keep this from sliding into that window, because I don't feel like buying an Ineos window, because there's no telling how much that sucker costs. So just to be safe, that, just so it doesn't slide. So you just have a nut hand tied on the bottom there and there, just to keep it from sliding. We'll take this one, flip it up here, put the side piece on same way, do the same thing, and then we'll look at getting the long piece bolted in. So if we didn't have this hose reel, it looks like these 4 bolts are right there, so this would go underneath, bam. But when I line that up, obviously that's not gonna work, so we're gonna figure something out with this, or at least the switch anyways. Would do 2 bolts, but I think that's gonna interfere with the drawer. So we'll put this guy on the back burner for, no, I don't like that either. We'll figure out where to put the switch later. But yeah, if you did not have this, if you had like that, this right here would go underneath on this, countersunk screws, nuts on the bottom, blah, blah, blah. So can't use that, set that aside for now, but that's bolts in, mirrored to that side. Now we're gonna put that piece on. There are 2 holes right here, but those can't get anything because there's no provisions in here. And then also, if you had bolt heads sitting out, it wouldn't allow this to sit flush. At least that's what I'm seeing. All right, all the bolts are in the top and tightened down. Those on the back side of the Molle rack are a pain to get to. I had to put tape on my finger and hold the nut. But next we're working on the side and rear Molle panels. So you get brackets like these. Me looking at drawings again. Get this. The smallest hardware in the pack goes here. I'm leaving it loose to figure out what it goes. I believe, me guessing, since there's a big foot on the back with a hole and a small foot, this will be this side. Figure out how to take that apart. I think that will go up in there. I'll get that bolted down first and kind of do the same thing for the driver's side. So I'll be back once I figure that out. Both of them assembled. To get this out right here, tool in, pop, super simple. Show you again. Use a plastic tool. I've got these cool snap-on ones, so that are metal, but pop, pull. That's all it holds them in. I imagine those fronts are the same way. All right, so I got this one side up, kind of loosely in place, but that looks like crap. Let's see all that. So what I have done, drill a hole in it. Put it back up. There we go. Now I gotta figure out where that hole is in that one. Just notice this. Bottom, that's the hole that we're going for right there. But corner of that hole, you draw a straight line to the corner of that hole, that's roughly in the middle, which is this guy. So if we flip it around, we're going from corner to there to corner to there. See that circle right there? That's what we're shooting for. Super helpful. So we just put the drill bit right in the middle of this circle, drill a hole. That looks much better. All right, now I'll try figuring out what goes where back here. This is how I'm figuring half of this stuff out. So you got this panel right here, pretty unique, especially this corner right here. 2 small holes, but if you wonder which way this goes, because it can go that way on this side or flip it around that way on that side. Set this down. Been using their 3D models. Fingers got stuff all over them, so I can't zoom in. So it looks like the bin's going that way. Got something on my fingers. Yep, bend towards the back. I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but I think I've got the wrong hardware count that they gave me. So those little bitty tiny ones right there are also these tiny ones, okay? Then you have your medium ones that are all these that hold everything. You have the button head like this, and then you have the countersunk like that, right? So I need 2, we'll just double up, so 2, that's 4 of the small ones, and then that's 4, so 8 of the medium ones, all button heads. Doesn't include the 2 down here, those are already in. So I need 8 medium, 4 more of the small. We come over here. Now I need 4 of these guys. These are the small ones. Those are for where I use the factory hardware there because it just looks better. And then I have a bunch of countersunk stuff, but I've got 0 of the nuts left. So they messed up on hardware big time. Pretty sure that would be enough to get done. No, I'm missing one there. So that's enough right there to get done with the upper panels. So I need 4. Dang, I'm missing way more than I thought. I need that many with 4 nuts there. But all of these should be medium bolts. And they're supposed to be button heads because all I have left are countersunk. And I didn't use button heads anywhere where they're supposed to be countersunk. Because the only stuff that's countersunk is the top here. And I didn't even put on the airline bracket, so those are 4, and I'm out of nuts. I have lost nothing. So I guess we're running to the hardware store. Thank you, Buzz Overland. Actually, we're missing a lot more than I thought. There's another shelf that we have to put together up here that all needs hardware. And the hardware that you change out down here to hold the actual drawer system in. So we're missing a lot of hardware. All right, so everything's tight. Had to get Jill to sit down on the seats on the other side to push the hardware through and hold it with an Allen head, but everything's tight. We're working on the back tray now. Again, getting hardware out of our bolt bin. Missing all the bolts that hold this brace on. I had it assembled the other way, so right now it's assembled like this. It was the other way, so this wasn't a dish, but the way it goes is it sits on top of this lip right here, and then the lip comes up and hits the holes there and there. Kind of see what's going on there. But if you notice, 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab the flashlight. We got our small holes right there in the side panels. This panel doesn't have the holes. It looks like it's supposed to have the holes, but it doesn't have the holes. Like right there you go. The hole never got cut out. So, guess we're gonna bolt it up like it is, because that panel is in there now. There are quality issues that I'm not understanding. I mean, I get they're a new company and these are new vehicles, but small things like not having all the hardware and holes missing in the panel. I mean, whoever spent all the time drawing this up should have spent time just putting bolts in bags and labeling and a little more quality control. But from what I see, it's pretty awesome. Everything fits great. I don't have to die grind anything out, which is kind of common with these systems. So just small little things that kind of tick you off a little bit. Just got phoned OK 4-wheel drive about the small issues we're having. Like I said, kind of guess they're a startup-ish company and they're figuring everything out. So the hole's missing up there. He's gonna put like an inquiry in for that. And then the hardware thing, he's just gonna give him a note that not all the hardware that we need is with this guy. So I gotta run to the hardware store and I'll be back. All right, and we're done. So Everything's back together. The only thing ready now is wire up an AOB compressor and plumb it. And looking at it right now, it's gonna be a pain in the you-know-what to get into here to do anything. So that sucks. But, yeah. That plumbing of that. Luckily, once it's plumbed and wired, it's not a huge deal, but not a lot of room. There's just enough room in here to line the hose up when you need it. So there we go. All right, so that is it for today. It is 4:45. So worked on this thing from 9:30, 9:45 today in the morning. Now, so 6:45, I took like a 20-minute lunch break and then 2 trips to the store to get flush mount stuff. I have bolts in a bolt bin right there, tons of them. We don't keep flush mount countersunk stuff in stock because I don't need to have that stuff generally. So yeah, all day in a shop with a ton of tools, who does this stuff a lot. It ain't a Saturday job for you guys. Plan a full weekend and you need a second hand in a few spots, especially getting that panel up there. You can't reach the other side even laying on your back. You just can't reach up around the shelf and stuff. So plan on full weekend if you do it yourself, or if a shop's doing it, I'd say a day, day and a half, honestly. So, but that's day 1 of the Ineos. So tomorrow, more stuff. See you guys later. Like, subscribe, share, and subscribe. Bye, guys.